at the halfway point of Global Champions League here in Riesenbeck. Round one now officially done and dusted. No surprises for many, perhaps, that the Kunststars, powered by the Iron Dames, is the leading team. The best of those on 4 penalties. Falkenswaard United, the current championship leaders, just behind them as well. And spare a thought for those teams that came in looking good and had some final fences going down, of which there were many. High penalty counts for a large amount of teams. But the Scandinavian Vikings have impressed. They currently find themselves in 3rd. Let's show you those results, then give you an idea as to where the teams now find themselves, because there have been faults and fences falling all over this incredibly large grass arena. As we said, only 2 teams on 4, Kunststars and Falkenswaard United. Kunststars just slightly quicker. Scandinavian Vikings, well, they'll be delighted with that. Geert Gulliksen will be jumping out of his skin for that, hoping then to repeat something similar for that second round. The Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem, equestrian team. Some fences falling. They would have wanted more than 8, as would Riesenbeck International, powered by Horst Gym. They would have felt as if a 4 was definitely on the cards there. 1 fence going down for Camille, another for Kukuk as well. They would have wanted to be far better. And for the Doha Falcons, I'm afraid fences falling as well. They find themselves now in 8th place. Not the first round that they would have been hoping for, as they try and fight their way higher up the leaderboard to give themselves a better starting point at the GCL Super Cup later on this year. Paris Panthers in trouble, and New York Empire, well, there was a refusal for Dennis Lynch after a fence fell, and with those time penalties that then followed, plenty and plenty of penalties, I'm afraid, for Dennis Lynch. We're going to hear from Jack Whittaker. We're going to give you some idea as to how the second round is going to shape up. But for now then, let's hear from the leading team, the Kunststars, powered by the Iron Dames. Let's get their thoughts on the best performance of GCL Round 1.
Kunststars won here in Riesenbeck in 2024. At the halfway stage this year, you're top of the pile. How did you see that round overall? You watched a lot of rounds.
I mean, I have to say it was quite competitive. We had more rails in the whole class than I expected when we walked it. But it's also not an easy venue. It's a big ring, and our horses jump good. Thanks for Katrin's nice clear round, and then also me, I have to say I'm super proud and happy about Iron Dames Just a Dream. He's very green, I think you could see that in between, but he has all the scope and managed it well till the end. And now we stay focused for the next round.
Katrin, the clear on Chao Li, you obviously set your plan, but just talk to us about the performance of the horse.
Yeah, Chao Li jumped amazing. I think she could help the team during the year, a lot of clear rounds. But it's a team class, and we still have to do a second round.
Jana, having seen everything unfold, are you happier having got off your horse and calmed down yourself than you were when you actually left the arena? Because really, that was a very good round for a young horse.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of happy right away because he jumped so well. But of course, I was a bit insecure if it was the right decision to put a young horse in this class. And I felt he was a bit spooky in between. And now when I saw so many horses struggling a bit, I look back and feel maybe a bit more confident about his performance.
So Katrin, changes for the second round. How do Kunststars back up round 1 and win for the second year in a row here in Riesenbeck?
Yeah, same riders, different horses. Jana will bring Dubai, and I will ride the Alu.
Well done. Kunststars leader at the halfway stage here in Riesenbeck.
Thank you.
Definitely no strangers to success here in Riesenbeck. Katrin Ackermann famously jumping over the final fence clear to win the competition here a year ago. Is that going to be how this plays out again? Chao Li once more jumping clear, and Jana Frederika Meyer-Zimmermann back to full health now and back to competing with the Kunststars. Has a fence down, but will then make a horse change. Both riders, in fact, will make a horse change, as Dubai in particular will come in for Meyer-Zimmermann. Interesting first half of Global Champions League round 1. Some very impressive performances, in particular for young Jack Whittaker on Valmy de la Lande, going on to jump clear earlier on today. Let's hear then from the Madrid Emotion man.
Jack, you were the first clear out there on the course. How did it ride for you?
Yeah, like when Valmy's on form, it's hard. It's only my fault if we don't jump clear around. So if I'm on the ball, then we're normally okay.
Valmy this season, only 4 faults across the whole season in round 1.
Yeah, I think both. Every time I jumped on the team, I've been clear so far with him. But like as I said before, it's like if the only time I knock one down is normally it's my fault. So if I'm on the ball, it's normally okay, you know. So I can only let him down. He's never going to let me down. So
you look at the whole team. Obviously, Kim had a tough round, 16 faults there. How now do you work together as a team for Madrid in Motion to try and get the most points out of this weekend?
Yeah, look, we've all been there. It's not like it's not nothing new, you know. That's the show jumping for you. It's the game. You take the good with the bad, and it's not like we've all had better rounds, you know. It's nothing. We come together, move on, and take the next round as a new round, you know.
Talking next round, any changes for Madrid in Motion?
Yeah, I think I need to speak to Erica, the manager, but I think I'm not in the second round. Kim obviously jumps in Imagine, her Olympic horse, and Beauville, so it's to be expected that I get booted off. So I have nothing to complain about.
Well, job done for you in round 1, and good luck to the team for round 2.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Smile on the face of Jack Whittaker. Understandably, he'll be very happy with that performance. Valmy de la Lande was very, very good, as was the young British rider, to go on and jump clear. Unfortunately for Kim Emmen, who followed shortly after, 4 fences going down, and left Madrid Emotion on 16, something that they certainly were not expecting after that wonderful clear from Whittaker earlier on. We once again welcome Rupert Bell into the studio to give us some thoughts. You and I spoke earlier on this afternoon. We spoke about the young riders. We spoke about the young horses. Some have delivered exceptionally well, the likes of Jack Whittaker. I know that you were impressed as well with Mikey Pender on that 8-year-old. Give me some opening thoughts on how you feel that played out, Rupert.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a very clever course. Look, the way particularly those 2 doubles at the end.
Right over our shoulder here, this final line.
Watching that final line, 10A and B was catching them all out. You saw there weren't many clear rounds, even in the individual phase of the competition. But then you see every first rider went clear, but no, the second riders weren't able to back it up. Now, for whatever reason, you saw Marcus Enning. That was bringing all his wily experience. And actually hearing from Jana about her round, after the brilliant run from Katarina Romberg, I thought that was a masterclass. She, again, just kept it together. She's back from injury. She did enough on a young horse. I was very impressed, and I think the course, you could never let up. You even saw Christian Alman have problems, and then the final fence, you thought there was going to be a clear round, and then someone has it down. It was a clever course. The Cannes Stars, you've got to give them credit. Shanghai Swans, wasn't expecting that.
Sure.
To see them down there. But Scandinavian Vikings, great.
Gullikson will be jumping out of his boots.
Well, I tell you what, he was jumping out there. But it's great to see them, you know, they're in third. You know, they had a good run out last time. You know, it's all to play for. And that's why the Cannes Stars, you've got to admire their consistency. But for them, they can come out and win. Well, Valkenswaard United, there will be a tough nut to crack.
It's never a sure bet going into that second round, but fences in the first round going down suggest that maybe we might see slightly higher scores today. Very often we're in search of double clears and clean sheets, and if your leading teams are on 4, 4, and 5, unless there's double clears later on tonight, but this suggests that we may well see a podium that has multiple fences going down.
I'll tell you where, the team's on 8. If one of those has a double clear, wouldn't be surprised to see
knocking on the door.
Wouldn't see them surprised to see them winning. If one of the teams on 8 has double clear, I think if you're on 12 or more, I think you're in trouble because there's too many teams in front of you. But any of those teams who've got 8 faults, they will be thinking, right, double clear, we can win here in Riesenbeck.
Well, let's show you what the virtual rankings look like. In fact, if we were to stop the show jumping right now, with the Cannes Stars in first place, with Valkenswaard in second, and with the Scandinavian Vikings, Rupert, take us through what this virtual ranking would look like.
Well, I have to say, from Cannes Stars going into second would be really interesting. Valkenswaard United, you would be expecting them to consolidate their position. But as I say, I think those teams have all got 8. I think you would be looking at them maybe coming up higher in the leaderboard. But, you know, it is very interesting. There's all to play for. And that's where I think we are in for a real treat, a surprising treat in this afternoon. Not double clears, but I think we're in for a tense afternoon.
It's going to be fantastic later on to come. A drop for Shanghai Swans. There would be a jump for the Saint-Tropez Pirates and some movement for the Istanbul Warriors as well. Mexico go down. New York Empire begin to lose ground. Paris Panthers, I'm afraid, continue to sit at the foot of the table. And Stockholm Hearts, how and why they were involved in that fight, it is simply beyond measure to work that out. Scandinavian Vikings would finally make some room between themselves and the foot of the table. They get out of that fight, of that relegation scrap as it would be. Rome Gladiators lose ground. The Monaco Comets, the season hasn't gone their way, but they would look to make a climb as well, as the second team, powered by the Iron Dames, improves what would be their quarter-final starting position at the GCL Super Cup later on this year. More on those details, of course, throughout the rest of the afternoon. Plenty of rider changes, I assume. Plenty of horse changes, we can assume. That is all to come later on this afternoon for the second round of Global Champions League live from Riesenbeck. We take a quick break. When we return, we'll begin to build up for that second round as the sunshine in the German countryside finally comes out and blesses us with what should be a sensational second round. Grab a drink. We'll see you shortly for round two.
Global champions head to Riesenbeck, where the heart of German show jumping beats strong. As the tour progresses, every jump is more crucial. With the title in sight, the pressure mounts. Who will rise above the rest? Experience the Longines Global Champions Tour of Riesenbeck from September 11th to the 14th.